Hello everyone, this is ViperPrime. I'm just going to show you the mod that I recently developed, and also answer a few questions about it. I already had a video of it, but that was just the original version. Version 4 has a few name changes, and that's pretty much it. But I'm going to answer some questions here as well. The mod, first of all, there are a few issues with it that I can't seem to work out. Namely, if the host does not have the mod and you try to use a chassis on the wrong faction, say if I use this one which I named Meltdown on Autobots, it's not going to work. It's actually going to crash the host game, and they'll be wondering what the heck happened. So you do have to, like you see I have this one titled as normal. Well, I have it set to sideswipe because he is that way on the correct faction. So if I'm not host, or if the host has the mod, you can use it. But if I don't know for sure that the host has the mod, I'll use one of my normal setups, and I have one on each class. I have a normal setup so that I can fall back to it. Also, I wasn't originally planning on using it in multiplayer, but seeing as everybody that I was playing with seemed to catch on very quickly, and in fact, it seemed like I was being made a bigger target. Because I tested in multi just to see, what was, get a feel for what's gonna happen with this mod, what glitches might there be, etc. Because of that, I've been using it in multiplayer, and in fact, I've spoken with other people. There are a few who say, one in particular has told me that it confuses them. Aside from that, most people are either saying it doesn't confuse them, or they don't notice it, whatever, or haven't even said anything. There's one person I've talked to who actually said that, in fact, I did make myself an easier target for him, and he was a pretty skilled player, but nonetheless, he said it made it more obvious that I was an enemy. So, for the most part, you can tell by their colors. If not, and this is the way that I tell if somebody's friend or foe, because disguise, you gotta watch for that and stuff. So what I just do, I just look above their head. Do I see what's their name color? Is their name in it there? If it's not, they're probably an enemy, etc. So, if you do that, that's the best way to figure out if somebody's friend or foe, and that'll work flawlessly, pretty much, with this, because it doesn't change that. And then I changed the names on the characters so that, like, for instance here, Bumblebee, it actually says he's Bumblebee instead of, I think his chassis name was Runner or something. So, some of the colors you can do look really cool. There's a side swipe with white and purple, and I named them Sideways, Breakdown, Barricade. So I kept their names the same, and then tried to just, like, here's a, Black Arachnia, just different names that they've had over the years, if I could. Does look kind of odd with her at this perspective. She just looks kind of almost fat, I don't know. Just looks really weird. She also looks like she has a big head from that angle. Named him Waspinator. There's a little reference to older Transformers series. So the host crash glitch is the worst. Here's Starscream, and this was the original intention of the mod, to be able to get characters to have their actual colors from the game, so that when we used it in our filming sessions, we could get their actual colors. So, for instance, Starscream could actually be red and blue. Also, people asked me, hey, why don't you just make the color palettes available for both sides? Well, that was my original intention, and I searched through the entire, all the files both files that I modded for this mod. I could not find anything like that anywhere in there. So, it really, don't try to ask me, why don't you try? I have. I keep getting that question, why don't you just do that? Well, that's why, because you can't. It's just... So, but, yeah, that would have actually been better, because I could mix, say, black with blue, or whatever, you know? So, some of the characters look really cool in jet black. But, yeah, I mean, it's a somewhat controversial mod, but, you know, take your side if you like it, okay. If you don't, okay, you know. So, I'm gonna get people who like it and people who don't. And that's, you know, that's how this is gonna be, but I'm fine with that. Just don't start attacking me saying, oh, you're horrible for doing this, because I wasn't even gonna distribute it to most of the people that I did. I wasn't gonna use it in multi, but people seem to catch on so fast, and in fact makes me a greater target. So the only benefit really ends up being you get to do different colors. Here's a little G1 homage. I made Soundwave's Autobot chassis named Blaster. If you know G1, he was like the arch enemy of Soundwave. Pretty much but basically he was the Autobot version of Soundwave, so you can look that up. And then I think Air Raid's name is, I believe, the only one that does not appear in the selection screens and stuff. But that's, you know, a small price to pay. Bumblebee used to have that same issue. I changed something, and I just changed, I think, the name of his Decepticon counterpart, and then it was, for whatever reason, it was fixed. So I can't get air raids fixed so far. I don't know, but it's not that big of a deal. So what if his name doesn't appear? Okay, big whoop-de-doo. Some name changes. You can see I renamed this. Instead of Beta Prime, it's Galvatron. So you get the idea. You know, there's some minor name changes. I'm working on something with it that would allow players to carry, instead of just these standard weapons, it would also allow them to carry and I'll explain that glitch in a second. It would allow them to use melee weapons on there, which is really useless except for filming, but that I am working on. So full blue on those characters looks really cool. Some of the names I did make up because it, you know, just I didn't have a name that I could think of to put in there. Like your Buster, whatever. Megatronus, I figured that would be a good homage because if you watch Transformers Prime, you find out that Megatron used to be Megatronus. Now, see how this is undefined? You can see that. That happens when you have both chassis on the wrong side, and I know why. There's something I can do to fix this, but I left it because it's fun to mess around with. The easy way to avoid it, set at least one of the chassis correct to their faction. Go change your weapons, you'll be able to do it just fine. Then change the chassis back. It's basically a glitch based on weapons being assigned to certain chassis, and the new chassis, or certain character chassis, and those certain characters I copied and made new characters to make this mod work correctly. So those chassis are not listed there. I could add them in, but I'm not going to. But by making them undefined, you'll get a funny glitch. There's a few different things you can do with it. It's pretty useless. I would not do it in game because it really would. You'll just die constantly. It's a bad idea. Totally bad idea. So, but I left it because it's fun if you want to go into a private match by yourself or with somebody else and goof around. You're gonna get some funny glitches. But that's pretty much it. Also, this was in there before, but I, you know, updated it. If you hover over create a character, instead of it telling you about, you know, what that is, it'll say you are using ViperPrime's DLC Prime Edition mod V4. If I do an update, the next update then would say V5, etc. Another question I've been getting is, I haven't gotten this a lot, but somebody did ask me, will you teach me how to do this? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to teach anybody how to do anything with modding the INI and the INT files, because if you think this is a controversial mod, somebody could, if I taught them how to mod that file and they get just a little bit of smarts, they can figure out how to make their characters level up entirely in one kill. So that's why I'm not going to teach anyone how to do this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, signing off. Have fun.